Do you remember those forgotten side dishes from the 1970s? The ones that made every meal feel like a family celebration? They were quick to make, full of flavor, and somehow magically turned simple ingredients into something memorable. Today, many of these classics have disappeared from our tables, but their charm and comfort are timeless. Join us as we revisit 30 of these nostalgic dishes we wish would make a comeback. Creamy ambrosia salad. There was a time when a side dish could be both a dessert and a centerpiece, and nothing captured that duality quite like the creamy ambrosia salad. A staple of 1970s American kitchens, ambrosia was a celebration of texture, color, and flavor. A sweet reprieve amidst the more savory offerings on the dinner table. At first glance, it seemed deceptively simple. A mixture of canned fruit, miniature marshmallows, and shredded coconut, all folded into a luscious base of whipped cream or sometimes a sweetened sour cream. But the magic lay in the balance, the way the tartness of mandarin oranges danced with the richness of cream, or how the juicy pineapple chunks contrasted with the soft, pillowy marshmallows. In many homes, ambrosia wasn't just food, it was tradition. Mothers and grandmothers would prepare it for Sunday dinners, holiday feasts, or summertime potlucks, often adding a personal twist. Maraschino cherries for a pop of color, chopped nuts for crunch, or a dash of grated orange zest for an aromatic lift. The salad was typically chilled for hours, allowing the flavors to meld and the coconut to soften, giving it that signature creamy texture that was both indulgent and comforting. Part of the charm of ambrosia was its versatility. It could be served in a simple glass bowl for family dinners or molded into an elaborate gelatin shape for more formal occasions, complete with decorative fruit on top. It was approachable yet elegant, something children adored for its sweetness and adults appreciated for its nostalgic, homey appeal. Over time, though, ambrosia faded from everyday tables, eclipsed by newer, trendier desserts or lighter, health-conscious alternatives. Yet for those who remember it, each spoonful is a trip back to a kitchen filled with laughter, the hum of conversation, and the unmistakable scent of whipped cream and citrus mingling in the air. Creamy ambrosia salad wasn't just a dish. It was a small, sweet reminder of the comfort and creativity of 1970s home cooking. A recipe worth reviving and savoring once more. Cheesy hash brown casserole. In the 1970s, the cheesy hash brown casserole was the ultimate comfort side dish. A warm, golden concoction that seemed to promise happiness with every bite. It was the kind of dish that could turn a simple weeknight meal into a gathering worthy of celebration. Yet it was unfussy enough to be thrown together with pantry staples and frozen ingredients. At its core, the casserole combined shredded or diced frozen hash browns with a generous helping of melted cheese, a creamy binder of sour cream or cream of mushroom soup, and a hint of butter, all baked until bubbling and golden on top. The result was a dish that was simultaneously creamy, cheesy, and satisfying, with a subtle crispiness around the edges that made every forkful irresistible. Part of the casserole's enduring charm lay in its versatility. Home cooks could adapt it easily. Add sautéed onions or bell peppers for depth. Sprinkle a layer of crushed cornflakes or breadcrumbs on top for extra texture, or experiment with different cheeses from sharp cheddar to a mellow mozzarella blend. It was a crowd pleaser, equally at home on the holiday table alongside turkey and ham, and as it was at casual Sunday brunches or potlucks. Families cherished it for its simplicity, its hearty flavor, and the way it seemed to feed both body and soul. Yet, beyond its ingredients, the cheesy hash brown casserole was a symbol of 1970s culinary ingenuity. It represented an era when convenience met creativity, when frozen foods were embraced for their practicality, and when casseroles were a canvas for comfort. The dish carried with it memories of kitchens filled with the aroma of melting cheese and baked potatoes, the hum of conversation, and the easy laughter of family and friends gathered around the table. Though today it might be considered retro or even slightly kitschy, this casserole deserves a comeback. Its rich, cheesy indulgence, paired with tender, flavorful potatoes, offers a nostalgic reminder of simpler times and the comforting magic of home-cooked meals. The cheesy hash brown casserole is more than a side dish. It is a delicious doorway into the past, a taste of the 1970s worth savoring again. Pineapple Jell-O salad. Few dishes capture the whimsy and bold flavors of 1970s kitchens quite like the pineapple Jell-O salad. Bright, colorful, and undeniably sweet. It was a fixture at holiday dinners, potlucks, and summer picnics, offering both a refreshing counterpoint to heavier mains and a playful visual centerpiece. The salad typically began with a box of pineapple-flavored gelatin, dissolved and chilled until slightly thickened, ready to cradle chunks of canned pineapple, miniature marshmallows, and sometimes a handful of shredded coconut. Some recipes even added cream cheese or sour cream, giving the salad a richer, creamier texture that balanced the tangy sweetness of the fruit. Part of its charm was the contrast of textures, the jiggle of the gelatin, the chew of marshmallows, the soft bite of pineapple, and the subtle crunch of nuts if they were included. It was a dish that appealed to children and adults alike, its vibrant hue and slightly wobbly form bringing a sense of fun to any table. Many home cooks enjoyed customizing the salad, tossing in maraschino cherries for color, or a few diced pears for a surprising twist. Once set, it could be served in a simple bowl or molded into decorative shapes for a more festive presentation, often garnished with extra fruit or a sprinkle of coconut on top. Beyond the flavor, pineapple Jell-O salad is a snapshot of a culinary era defined by convenience and creativity. It reflected the 1970s love for gelatin-based dishes, which offered an easy way to impress guests without hours in the kitchen. Refrigerators were stocked with cans of fruit, boxes of gelatin, and tubs of whipped topping, waiting to be transformed into playful, crowd-pleasing sides. Today, the salad may seem nostalgic, even a little kitschy, but its charm lies in its simplicity and cheerful presentation. Every spoonful brings back memories of family gatherings, warm summer afternoons, and the excitement of childhood as we dug into a wobbly, sweet creation that seemed almost magical. The pineapple Jell-O salad isn't just a side dish. It's a slice of 1970s Americana, a testament to the era's joyful and inventive approach to home cooking. Carrot soufflé with marshmallow topping. The carrot soufflé with marshmallow topping was one of the 1970s most charming and surprisingly indulgent side dishes. It transformed ordinary carrots into a sweet, fluffy creation that blurred the line between vegetable and dessert, perfect for holiday tables, potlucks, or special family dinners. The base of the soufflé consisted of cooked, mashed carrots, often enriched with eggs, sugar, and butter, which gave the dish a light, airy texture when baked. What made it truly memorable, however, was the crowning layer of mini marshmallows, which melted slightly in the oven to create a golden, gooey topping that added sweetness, texture, and a touch of whimsy. This dish was emblematic of mid-century American kitchens, where creativity and convenience often went hand in hand. Canned or fresh carrots could be used, and sometimes crushed pineapple or orange juice was added for a subtle tang and extra moisture. The marshmallow topping was more than decorative. It provided a contrast in both texture and flavor, offsetting the mild earthiness of the carrots with its soft, sugary allure. In some households, a sprinkle of chopped nuts on top completed the presentation, adding a delicate crunch that made every bite a little more special. Carrot soufflé was both a conversation starter and a comfort dish. It reflected the era's love of casseroles and molded sides, blending vegetables with sweet, creamy elements in a way that felt festive and indulgent. Families would watch with delight as the marshmallows puffed and browned in the oven, filling the kitchen with a sweet, slightly buttery aroma that hinted at the magic waiting to be served at the table. Though it might seem quaint, or even kitschy, by today's culinary standards, the carrot soufflé with marshmallow topping remains a nostalgic reminder of the inventiveness and charm of 1970s home cooking. It celebrated the idea that vegetables didn't always have to be savory, that comfort could be creative, and that every meal could include a little surprise. With its sweet, airy texture and playful marshmallow crown, this soufflé deserves to make a comeback, bringing back a touch of mid-century whimsy and flavor to modern tables. Broccoli and cheese bake. In the 1970s, the broccoli and cheese bake was a beloved side dish that brought both color and comfort to the dinner table. It was a simple yet satisfying way to transform humble broccoli into something indulgent and celebratory, combining the crisp, tender texture of the vegetable with a rich, velvety cheese sauce that melted into every floret. Often made with a combination of fresh or frozen broccoli, cheddar cheese, and a creamy binder like cream of mushroom soup or a homemade bechamel. The bake was finished with a golden topping of breadcrumbs or shredded cheese, giving it a light crunch that contrasted beautifully with the creamy interior. Part of its charm lay in the balance of flavors. The slightly bitter, earthy notes of broccoli paired perfectly with the sharpness of cheddar, while the creamy sauce tied everything together into a cohesive, comforting dish. Home cooks loved its versatility. It could be a simple weeknight accompaniment to roast chicken or baked ham, or a more elaborate addition to a holiday spread alongside mashed potatoes and glazed carrots. Some families even added extras like chopped onions, a sprinkle of paprika, or bits of cooked bacon to enhance flavor and texture, making each bake a slightly personalized creation. The broccoli and cheese bake epitomized the 1970s love for casseroles, dishes that were practical, hearty, and crowd-pleasing, yet capable of feeling special. Refrigerators and pantries of the era were stocked with frozen vegetables, canned soups, and shredded cheeses, all waiting to be transformed into quick, satisfying meals. The dish was especially popular at potlucks and community gatherings, where it could be baked in a large dish, sliced, and served to many, keeping everyone happy and well-fed. Though it has fallen somewhat out of fashion today, the broccoli and cheese bake remains a nostalgic reminder of mid-century comfort cooking. Its combination of creamy, cheesy indulgence with wholesome vegetables is timeless, proving that sometimes the simplest casseroles are the most memorable. Every forkful carries not just flavor, but a memory of kitchens filled with warmth, laughter, and the unmistakable aroma of melted cheese mingling with fresh broccoli. Three-bean salad. The three-bean salad was a quintessential 1970s side dish, celebrated for its simplicity, vibrant colors, and tangy flavor. It was the kind of salad that could sit on a picnic table, holiday spread, or casual dinner, looking as bright as it tasted. At its heart, the dish combined three types of beans, typically green beans, kidney beans, and wax beans, tossed together in a light, slightly sweet and sour dressing made from vinegar, sugar, and a touch of oil. Some variations included finely chopped onions or bell peppers for added crunch and flavor, creating a medley that was as pleasing to the eye as it was to the palate. What made the three-bean salad so appealing was its balance of textures and flavors. The tender beans were crisp enough to hold their shape, but soft enough to soak up the tangy dressing. The sweet notes from sugar or a dash of honey played beautifully against the vinegar's acidity, while the optional onions added a subtle sharpness that rounded out each bite. Served cold, it was refreshing and light, making it a perfect contrast to heavier mains like roasted meats, casseroles, or fried chicken. Beyond taste, the three-bean salad reflected the era's embrace of convenience without sacrificing flavor. Canned beans were often used, which made preparation quick and reliable, yet the end result felt homemade and wholesome. It was a dish that required little fuss but made a big impression, beloved for both its practicality and its ability to complement any meal. Though it may seem modest compared to today's elaborate sides, the three-bean salad is a reminder of the straightforward, flavorful, and colorful dishes that defined 1970s home cooking. Its tangy, crisp, and slightly sweet character continues to charm those who remember it, and for new generations, it offers a taste of the past, simple, satisfying, and timeless. The three-bean salad wasn't just a side dish. It was a reliable, cheerful addition to any table, bringing both freshness and nostalgia in every bite. Watergate salad. Watergate salad was one of the most iconic and playful side dishes of the 1970s, a sweet, fluffy concoction that seemed to defy expectations by combining fruit, nuts, and a light, creamy base into one delightful dish. Its origins are tied to the era's fascination with convenience foods and molded desserts, and it quickly became a favorite at potlucks, holiday dinners, and family gatherings. The salad typically featured a base of pistachio-flavored instant pudding, folded together with crushed pineapple, mini marshmallows, and a handful of chopped nuts, often walnuts, to add a satisfying crunch. Whipped topping, usually Cool Whip, gave the dish its signature airy, cloud-like texture, making it both light and indulgent at the same time. Part of Watergate salad's charm was its vibrant green color, courtesy of the pistachio pudding, which made it visually striking and instantly recognizable. The combination of flavors, tangy pineapple, nutty pistachio, and sweet marshmallows, created a harmony that was both nostalgic and fun. Unlike many traditional salads, it was entirely sweet, but it still occupied the side dish spot on dinner tables, standing proudly alongside savory casseroles and roasted meats. Families loved it for its ease of preparation, its ability to feed a crowd, and its cheerful appearance that often brought a smile before the first bite. The salad captured the spirit of the 1970s culinary landscape, where gelatin and pudding-based dishes reigned supreme, and home cooks experimented with textures, flavors, and colors that were as visually appealing as they were tasty. It was a dessert disguised as a salad, a conversation starter, and a comfort dish all in one. Over the years, Watergate salad has faded from the limelight, but it remains a nostalgic favorite for those who grew up with it. A quirky reminder of an era when food was about creativity, convenience, and a little bit of fun. Watergate salad wasn't just another side dish. It was a sweet, whimsical snapshot of 1970s Americana, a dish that continues to inspire fond memories and a longing for the playful flavors of the past. Tuna noodle casserole. Tuna noodle casserole was the quintessential comfort food of 1970s kitchens, a dish that epitomized both convenience and homey warmth. It was a go-to for busy families who wanted a hearty, satisfying meal without spending hours in the kitchen. And yet it carried a sense of nostalgia and reassurance that made it a beloved classic. At its core, the casserole combined cooked egg noodles, canned tuna, and a creamy sauce, usually made from cream of mushroom soup, topped with a sprinkling of breadcrumbs or crushed potato chips for a satisfying crunch. The result was a rich, comforting dish with tender noodles, savory tuna, and a golden, bubbly topping that made it perfect for serving a crowd or feeding a hungry family. Part of its charm was its adaptability. Home cooks often added peas or chopped onions for color and texture, sometimes layering in shredded cheese for extra indulgence. The casserole could be assembled in minutes, baked until bubbling and served straight from the oven. A simple, no-fuss meal that felt like a warm hug. Its appeal spanned generations, from children who loved the creamy noodles and subtle tuna flavor to adults who appreciated the practicality and nostalgia of a dish that reminded them of family dinners from their own childhood. Tuna noodle casserole also reflected the 1970s culinary ethos, where convenience met creativity. Canned ingredients, frozen vegetables, and pantry staples were celebrated, not shunned, allowing home cooks to craft dishes that were both quick and satisfying. Its creamy, comforting flavors and easy preparation made it a staple at weeknight dinners, potlucks, and even holiday spreads, often appearing alongside roasted meats, mashed potatoes, and simple salads. Though it might be considered retro today, tuna noodle casserole remains a symbol of practical, hearty home cooking. It embodies the comforting, unpretentious spirit of 1970s kitchens, proving that convenience and flavor can coexist beautifully. Each forkful is a reminder of family meals, warm ovens, and the timeless appeal of creamy, cheesy goodness that brings people together. Curried chicken salad. Curried chicken salad was a standout side dish of the 1970s, a bright and flavorful departure from the more conventional salads of the era. Combining tender, cooked chicken with a creamy dressing spiced with curry powder, this dish brought a touch of exotic flair to family tables, potlucks, and holiday spreads, often mixed with diced celery, chopped onions, and sometimes sweet additions like pineapple chunks or raisins. The salad balanced savory, sweet, and mildly spicy flavors in a way that felt both comforting and sophisticated. The curry powder provided a warm, aromatic note, while mayonnaise or a mixture of mayonnaise and yogurt created a smooth, luscious base that clung to every piece of chicken and vegetable. Part of the charm of curried chicken salad was its versatility. It could be served chilled on a bed of lettuce for a light lunch, tucked into a sandwich for a quick dinner, or paired with crackers or bread as part of a buffet spread. The salad's vibrant golden hue and fragrant aroma made it visually appealing, while its creamy texture and complex flavor profile delighted guests and family members alike. Some cooks added a handful of toasted nuts for crunch, or a sprinkle of paprika for color, giving the dish a personalized touch that reflected the home cook's style. The dish also embodied the 1970s trend of experimenting with flavors from around the world. Curry, once considered exotic, had found its way into American kitchens through a fascination with convenience foods and pre-packaged spices. Curried chicken salad was practical too, made with leftover or rotisserie chicken, pantry staples, and a few fresh ingredients. It required minimal effort but produced maximum impact. Though it may seem retro today, curried chicken salad remains a nostalgic favorite, a reminder of the era's adventurous spirit in the kitchen. Its balance of creamy, tangy, and mildly spiced flavors makes it a timeless dish that continues to charm those who remember it and surprise those who taste it for the first time. This salad wasn't just a side. It was a vibrant expression of 1970s home cooking, playful, flavorful, and endlessly satisfying. Creamed corn casserole. Creamed corn casserole was a beloved side dish of the 1970s, offering a sweet, savory, and comforting complement to meats, poultry, and holiday spreads. It was a simple yet indulgent dish, transforming humble canned or frozen corn into a creamy, luscious casserole that could feed a family with minimal effort. Typically, the recipe combines creamed corn with whole kernel corn, eggs, butter, and a hint of sugar, sometimes thickened with a bit of flour or biscuit mix, and baked until golden and set. The result was a rich, custard-like texture dotted with tender corn kernels, warm, slightly sweet, and utterly satisfying. Part of the casserole's charm was its ability to appeal to a wide audience. Children loved the subtle sweetness and creamy texture, while adults appreciated its comforting, homey flavor and easy preparation. Some cooks added a touch of shredded cheese on top for extra richness, or sprinkled breadcrumbs for a lightly crisp finish. The dish was especially popular at Thanksgiving and Christmas, where it could be prepared ahead of time, popped in the oven, and brought to the table warm, filling the kitchen with the inviting aroma of baked corn and butter. The creamed corn casserole also reflected the 1970s culinary approach of convenience meeting creativity. With the rise of canned and frozen ingredients, home cooks could quickly assemble a dish that felt special and indulgent without hours of preparation. Its creamy, slightly sweet character stood out among more savory sides, providing a pleasing balance to roasted meats, mashed potatoes, and other holiday staples. Though less common on tables today, the creamed corn casserole remains a nostalgic reminder of mid-century American kitchens, where simple ingredients were transformed into comforting, flavorful dishes. Every spoonful evokes warmth, tradition, and the joy of family meals. Its combination of creamy texture, sweet corn flavor, and golden baked goodness makes it a side dish worth revisiting, a taste of 1970s home cooking that continues to charm and delight. Waldorf salad. Waldorf salad was one of the most iconic and elegant side dishes of mid-20th century American cuisine, and it maintained its popularity well into the 1970s. Known for its crisp, refreshing texture and light sweetness, the salad combined chopped apples, celery, and walnuts, all tossed in a creamy mayonnaise or yogurt-based dressing. Often served on a bed of lettuce, it was a visually appealing dish, with the bright green celery, crisp white apples, and golden brown walnuts creating a striking contrast that made it a favorite at luncheons, holiday dinners, and summer gatherings. Part of Waldorf salad's charm lay in its balance of flavors and textures. The sweetness of fresh apples paired perfectly with the slight bitterness of walnuts, while the celery added a satisfying crunch and a fresh, crisp note. The creamy dressing brought the ingredients together, coating each bite without overpowering the natural flavors. Some versions included grapes or pineapple for extra sweetness, or a squeeze of lemon juice to prevent the apples from browning and to add a subtle tang. The salad also reflected the culinary trends of the era. It was considered both sophisticated and approachable, a dish that could appear at formal dinner parties yet still be practical for family meals. Its reliance on fresh, simple ingredients aligned with the 1970s fascination with convenience and speed in the kitchen, while still allowing home cooks to create something visually impressive and flavorful with minimal effort. Waldorf salad's enduring appeal comes from its versatility and timeless balance of flavors. It could be served chilled as a starter, on sandwiches, or alongside roasted meats, making it a flexible addition to any menu. While it may seem retro to today's eyes, the crisp apples, crunchy nuts, and creamy dressing continue to delight, proving that some classics never go out of style. Waldorf salad wasn't just another side. It was a symbol of refinement and thoughtful simplicity, a dish that celebrated freshness, texture, and flavor in equal measure. For those who grew up with it, each bite is a reminder of bright, cheerful kitchens and meals shared with family and friends, making it a 1970s favorite worth revisiting. Cauliflower cheese bake. The cauliflower cheese bake was a quintessential 1970s side dish, a comforting casserole that combined wholesome vegetables with rich, creamy indulgence. At a time when casseroles dominated American kitchens, this dish took simple cauliflower florets and elevated them with a decadent cheese sauce, often made from cheddar melted into a mixture of milk, butter, and a touch of flour or cream of mushroom soup. Once the florets were coated in the velvety sauce, the casserole was topped with breadcrumbs or extra cheese and baked until golden and bubbling, creating a dish that was both hearty and elegant. Part of its appeal was the way it transformed cauliflower, a humble vegetable, into something universally loved. The slightly nutty, mild flavor of the cauliflower paired perfectly with the sharp, creamy cheese, while the baked topping added a satisfying crunch that contrasted beautifully with the soft florets. Home cooks often personalize the dish with additions like sautéed onions, a pinch of nutmeg, or even a sprinkle of paprika, making each bake a reflection of the cook's taste and style. The cauliflower cheese bake was not just delicious, it was practical too. It could be prepared ahead of time and baked just before serving, making it a favorite for weeknight dinners, holiday spreads, and potlucks alike. Its combination of convenience, flavor, and presentation made it a dish that appealed to children and adults alike, bridging the gap between nutrition and indulgence in a way that many 1970s casseroles did. Beyond taste, this dish evokes a sense of nostalgia for the era's home cooking, a time when casseroles were central to family meals and kitchens were filled with the comforting aroma of melting cheese and roasted vegetables. Though it may seem retro today, the cauliflower cheese bake remains a timeless reminder that vegetables can be both comforting and indulgent, practical yet celebratory. Every bite carries the warmth of home, the charm of mid-century kitchens, and the simple pleasure of creamy, cheesy goodness that turns an ordinary side into a memorable dish. Spinach and bacon salad. Spinach and bacon salad was a quintessential 1970s side dish, perfectly blending fresh, leafy greens with the smoky richness of crispy bacon. It was a salad that brought both flavor and texture to the table, turning simple spinach leaves into a dish worthy of holiday dinners, potlucks, and weeknight family meals. Often paired with hard-boiled eggs, sliced mushrooms, or red onion, the salad balanced fresh, crisp ingredients with the savory crunch of bacon, creating a harmony that was as satisfying to eat as it was to serve. A hallmark of this salad was its dressing. Many home cooks favored a warm bacon vinaigrette, poured over the spinach so that it slightly wilted the leaves and infused them with smoky flavor, though mayonnaise-based dressings were also common for those who preferred a creamy touch. The combination of textures, the tender spinach, crunchy bacon, and optional garnishes like croutons or nuts, made each bite a delightful mix of crispness and richness. Some versions added a touch of sugar or vinegar to the dressing, creating a sweet and tangy balance that elevated the salad from a simple vegetable side to a dish with personality and flair. Spinach and bacon salad exemplified the 1970s approach to home cooking: practical, flavorful, and visually appealing. It leveraged simple, accessible ingredients while offering a dish that felt slightly indulgent and sophisticated. Families appreciated it for its ease of preparation, its fresh yet hearty qualities, and its versatility. It could be served alongside roast meats, grilled chicken, or even as a light lunch on its own. Though it may seem retro today, the salad remains a testament to the era's culinary creativity, a reminder that vegetables could be exciting when paired with bold flavors and contrasting textures. Every forkful carries the smoky aroma of bacon, the crispness of fresh spinach, and a touch of nostalgia for kitchens filled with laughter, casual conversation, and the comforting rhythm of family meals. Spinach and bacon salad wasn't just a side dish, it was a flavorful, memorable expression of 1970s home cooking, one that deserves to make a comeback. Molded fruit gelatin salad. Molded fruit gelatin salad was one of the most iconic and playful side dishes of the 1970s, a dish that perfectly captured the era's love for bright colors, fun textures, and show-stopping presentation. Using flavored gelatin as a base, home cooks would fold in a variety of canned or fresh fruits. Pineapple, cherries, oranges, or grapes were popular choices, creating a visually striking dish that wobbled and shimmered on the plate. Some versions included nuts, shredded coconut, or even whipped topping, adding richness and texture to the lightly sweet, fruity gelatin. Served chilled, often in decorative molds, the salad was as much a conversation piece as it was a side dish. What made molded fruit gelatin salad so memorable was the balance of flavor, color, and whimsy. The fruity sweetness paired with the soft, slightly firm texture of the gelatin delighted both children and adults, while the carefully chosen combination of fruits created visual appeal that made it a favorite for holiday tables, picnics, and potlucks. The dish was also highly customizable. Some cooks layered different flavors of gelatin for a rainbow effect, while others used shaped molds to create stars, flowers, or other festive designs that made the salad a centerpiece in its own right. Beyond its fun presentation, the molded fruit gelatin salad reflected the 1970s culinary emphasis on convenience and creativity. Canned fruits and instant gelatin made preparation quick and easy, while the finished dish conveyed a sense of effort and elegance that made hosts proud. Refrigeration sets the salad into a firm, jiggly masterpiece, ready to impress guests while offering a refreshing, cool contrast to heavier mains like casseroles, roasts, or creamy sides. Though it may seem retro today, molded fruit gelatin salad remains a nostalgic reminder of mid-century American kitchens, where imagination and practicality coexisted beautifully. Each spoonful evokes childhood summers, holiday dinners, and family gatherings where food was both playful and delicious. This salad wasn't just a side, it was a testament to the joyful inventiveness of 1970s home cooking, a dish that brought color, sweetness, and a little magic to every table. Pea and ham casserole. Pea and ham casserole was a hearty, comforting side dish that epitomized 1970s home cooking, where casseroles reigned supreme and practicality met flavor. Simple yet satisfying, it combined tender green peas with chunks of cooked ham, often held together by a creamy binder such as cream of mushroom soup, cream of chicken soup, or a homemade bechamel. Sometimes onions, bell peppers, or a sprinkling of grated cheese were added to enrich the flavor, while breadcrumbs or crushed crackers on top provided a golden, crunchy finish. The result was a dish that was both savory and comforting, easy to prepare yet capable of pleasing a crowd. Part of the appeal lay in the balance of textures and flavors. The sweet, tender peas contrasted beautifully with the smoky, salty ham, while the creamy sauce bound the ingredients into a cohesive, luscious dish. The casserole could be assembled ahead of time and baked just before serving, making it a convenient choice for busy weeknights, family dinners, or potlucks. Its combination of practicality, taste, and warmth made it a staple of mid-century kitchens. Pea and ham casserole also reflected the 1970s love for economical, versatile dishes. Leftover ham from Sunday dinners or holiday meals could be repurposed into this comforting side, stretching ingredients while still delivering rich flavor. Families appreciated it for its simplicity, yet it also carried a sense of nostalgia, evoking kitchens filled with the aroma of bubbling cheese and cooked ham, and tables lined with generous portions of home-cooked goodness. Though it may seem retro today, pea and ham casserole remains a reminder of an era when casseroles were central to home meals, hearty, flavorful, and comforting. Each forkful delivers a warm, savory taste of the past, combining the earthiness of peas with the smoky richness of ham, wrapped in creamy goodness. This dish wasn't just a side. It was a testament to the ingenuity, practicality, and heartwarming simplicity of 1970s home cooking. Sweet potato casserole with marshmallows. Sweet potato casserole with marshmallows was one of the most indulgent and iconic side dishes of 1970s American kitchens, often appearing on holiday tables, Sunday dinners, and potlucks. At its heart, it transformed simple sweet potatoes, boiled, mashed, or pureed, into a creamy, flavorful base sweetened with sugar, butter, and warm spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and sometimes a hint of vanilla. The crowning glory, of course, was the layer of marshmallows melted to a golden, gooey perfection, providing a playful sweetness and a slightly crisp top that made the casserole irresistible to both children and adults. The appeal of this dish lay in its balance of flavors and textures. The rich, naturally sweet potato base was earthy and comforting, while the marshmallow topping added a soft, airy sweetness that contrasted perfectly with the dense mash below. Some home cooks sprinkled chopped pecans or walnuts between the potatoes and marshmallows, adding a satisfying crunch and a nutty dimension that elevated the casserole from simple to decadent. The result was a dish that was both visually impressive and utterly comforting, often stealing the spotlight at holiday meals. Sweet potato casserole with marshmallows reflected the 1970s ethos of combining convenience with indulgence. Canned sweet potatoes or pre-cooked packs made preparation simple, while marshmallows and a few pantry staples allowed home cooks to create a dish that felt special with minimal effort. Its popularity endured because it appealed to a wide range of tastes, satisfying those who love traditional flavors while adding the whimsical sweetness that made it memorable. Though it may feel retro today, the casserole remains a nostalgic classic, evoking kitchens filled with the aroma of butter, cinnamon, and melting marshmallows. Every bite carries the warmth of family gatherings, the joy of shared meals, and the comforting indulgence of home-cooked tradition. Sweet potato casserole with marshmallows wasn't just a side dish, it was a celebration of flavor, texture, and the creativity of 1970s home cooking. Deviled eggs with a twist. Deviled eggs with a twist were a playful and beloved side dish of the 1970s, taking a classic appetizer and elevating it with creative flavors and unexpected ingredients. At their core, these eggs followed the familiar formula: hard-boiled eggs halved and filled with a creamy mixture of egg yolk and mayonnaise. What set the 1970s versions apart was the imaginative additions: dill pickles, pimentos, olives, curry powder, or even bits of bacon, infusing the familiar with a surprising kick that delighted both children and adults. Some home cooks added a sprinkle of paprika or chives on top for color, while others experimented with mustard, horseradish, or relish to create bold new flavors. Part of the charm of deviled eggs with a twist was their versatility. They could serve as a side dish alongside casseroles and roasts, a party appetizer at holiday gatherings, or a standout on a picnic spread. The creamy, savory filling contrasted beautifully with the firm, tender egg whites, and the creative toppings or mix-ins added layers of texture and flavor, making each bite interesting and satisfying. Families and hosts loved them because they were easy to prepare, yet had a visual and flavorful appeal that made them feel special. These eggs also reflected the 1970s culinary spirit: playful, inventive, and focused on elevating simple, familiar ingredients. With pantry staples like mayonnaise, mustard, and spices, home cooks could transform ordinary eggs into a dish that impressed guests while remaining budget-friendly and practical. Though they may seem retro today, deviled eggs with a twist remain a nostalgic favorite. Each bite is a reminder of kitchens filled with laughter, casual experimentation, and the joy of sharing food that is both comforting and surprising. They weren't just a side, they were a showcase of creativity, flavor, and the enduring appeal of classic 1970s home cooking, proving that even the simplest ingredients could become extraordinary when approached with imagination. Shrimp and gelatin salad. Shrimp and gelatin salad was one of the more adventurous and quintessentially 1970s side dishes, blending seafood with the era's fascination with molded gelatin creations. Often featured at holiday dinners, potlucks, or cocktail parties, this salad combined cooked shrimp with a flavored gelatin base, usually lemon or lime, sometimes enriched with a bit of mayonnaise or cream to create a creamy, tangy texture. Chopped vegetables like celery, bell peppers, or onions were often folded in, adding crunch and freshness, while decorative slices of lemon or whole shrimp atop the mold made it a visually striking centerpiece. The dish stood out for its playful combination of flavors and textures. The firm, slightly sweet gelatin contrasted with tender, briny shrimp, while crisp vegetables added dimension to each bite. The creamy elements softened the gelatin slightly, creating a smooth, luscious mouthfeel that balanced the freshness of the seafood. Though unusual by modern standards, it perfectly embodied the 1970s spirit of culinary experimentation, melding convenience, elegance, and a touch of whimsy into a dish that impressed guests and delighted families. Shrimp and gelatin salad also reflected the era's love for dishes that could be prepared ahead of time. The gelatin needed hours in the refrigerator to set, making it an ideal choice for hosts who wanted a show-stopping side without last-minute stress. Its bright colors, molded shape, and decorative toppings made it a conversation starter, while the combination of seafood and creamy gelatin kept it on the tables of those seeking something unique and memorable. Though it may feel kitschy today, shrimp and gelatin salad remains a nostalgic reminder of 1970s home cooking, a time when creativity reigned and even the most unconventional ingredients found a way to shine. Each bite evokes memories of festive gatherings, refrigerators full of molded salads, and the playful, inventive spirit that made mid-century side dishes so memorable. This salad wasn't just a side, it was a testament to the bold, whimsical charm of an era in which food was as much about presentation and surprise as it was about flavor. Baked macaroni and cheese squares. Baked macaroni and cheese squares were a beloved 1970s side dish, taking the comfort of creamy macaroni and cheese and turning it into a convenient, shareable casserole. This dish typically combines cooked elbow macaroni with a rich cheese sauce made from cheddar or a blend of cheeses, sometimes enriched with eggs or milk, to create a custard-like texture that holds its shape when baked. Once mixed, the macaroni was poured into a baking dish, topped with additional cheese or breadcrumbs, and baked until golden and slightly crisp on top, then cut into neat squares for serving. Part of the charm of baked macaroni and cheese squares was their practicality. The squares could be made ahead of time and baked just before serving, making them perfect for potlucks, parties, or family dinners. They were easy to portion, visually appealing, and offered the perfect balance of creamy, cheesy interior with a lightly crisp exterior. Children loved them for their comforting flavor and fun, handheld shape, while adults appreciated the convenience and nostalgic appeal of a classic comfort food in a convenient form. The dish also reflected the 1970s love for casseroles and convenience foods, combining pantry staples and simple techniques to create something that felt indulgent and celebratory. Some variations included mix-ins like diced ham, cooked bacon, or sautéed onions, adding layers of flavor and texture, while others sprinkled paprika or a touch of nutmeg on top for a subtle seasoning that elevated the dish. Though it may seem retro today, baked macaroni and cheese squares remain a symbol of practical, comforting home cooking. Their creamy, cheesy richness and easy-to-serve format made them a staple of mid-century American kitchens, embodying the era's blend of convenience, creativity, and warmth. Every bite evokes memories of family meals, school potlucks, and cozy kitchens, proving that some comfort foods, especially when baked into golden squares, are timeless. Tomato aspic with vegetables. Tomato aspic with vegetables was a quintessential 1970s side dish, embodying the era's fascination with molded gelatin salads and savory flavors. It was a dish that combined a tangy tomato-flavored gelatin base with an assortment of vegetables, typically diced celery, carrots, bell peppers, and sometimes peas, suspended in the jelly for a strikingly colorful presentation. Often served chilled in a decorative mold, the aspic would be set into a firm, wobbly structure that made it both a visual centerpiece and a conversation starter at holiday dinners, potlucks, and cocktail parties. Part of the appeal of tomato aspic with vegetables was its balance of flavors and textures. The slightly tart, savory tomato gelatin contrasted with the crisp, fresh vegetables, creating a refreshing and unusual mouthfeel. Some versions included a bit of horseradish or Worcestershire sauce for a mild tang, while others incorporated chopped hard-boiled eggs or even bits of cooked shrimp to elevate the dish and add richness. The gelatin allowed the vegetables to remain suspended, creating an elegant, mosaic-like appearance that delighted hosts and guests alike. The dish reflected the 1970s love of convenience and creativity. Packaged gelatin mixes and readily available canned or prepped vegetables made it easy to assemble, while the finished aspic conveyed a sense of sophistication and effort that impressed at any gathering. Refrigeration was key, as the gelatin needed hours to set, making it a practical choice for hosts who wanted to prepare ahead of time and serve a show-stopping side with minimal last-minute fuss. Though it may seem unusual or even kitschy by today's standards, tomato aspic with vegetables is a nostalgic reminder of mid-century American culinary ingenuity. It combined simple ingredients into a visually stunning, flavorful dish, offering a refreshing break from heavier casseroles and creamy sides. Each slice brings back memories of colorful, carefully arranged dinner tables and kitchens filled with the playful experimentation that defined 1970s home cooking. Tomato aspic wasn't just a side, it was a testament to the era's creativity, elegance, and charm. Ambrosia fruit mold. Ambrosia fruit mold was a beloved and visually striking side dish of the 1970s, blending sweet, tropical flavors with the playful, molded gelatin trends of the era. A cousin to the classic ambrosia salad, this version took the concept a step further, suspending chunks of pineapple, mandarin oranges, maraschino cherries, and sometimes shredded coconut within a creamy gelatin or whipped topping base. The mixture was poured into a decorative mold and chilled until firm, resulting in a wobbly, colorful centerpiece that brought both flavor and fun to holiday tables, potlucks, and summer gatherings. Part of the mold's charm was its combination of textures. The tender fruit provided juiciness, the coconut added a delicate chew, and the gelatin or whipped base created a smooth, airy mouthfeel that made each bite feel light yet indulgent. Some home cooks even added mini marshmallows or a splash of cream for extra richness, while others experimented with nuts for a subtle crunch. The result was a sweet, refreshing, and visually impressive dish that delighted both children and adults. Ambrosia fruit mold reflected the 1970s love for convenience and creativity. Canned fruits, pre-packaged gelatin mixes, and ready-to-use whipped toppings allowed home cooks to create something festive with minimal effort, yet the final presentation conveyed thoughtfulness and care. Refrigeration was essential, as the mold needed time to set fully, making it ideal for preparing ahead of time and serving to a crowd with confidence. Though it may seem kitschy by modern standards, ambrosia fruit mold remains a nostalgic emblem of mid-century American home cooking. Its combination of tropical sweetness, creamy texture, and playful presentation evokes memories of kitchens filled with laughter, colorful table settings, and family gatherings centered around shared meals. This mold wasn't just a side dish, it was a celebration of flavor, creativity, and the joyful inventiveness that defined 1970s culinary traditions. Cream cheese and pineapple spread. Cream cheese and pineapple spread was a quintessential 1970s side dish, beloved for its sweet, tangy flavor and creamy texture. Often served as an appetizer or a complement to crackers, bread, or fresh vegetables, it combined softened cream cheese with crushed or diced pineapple, sometimes enhanced with a touch of sugar, a hint of lemon juice, or even a sprinkling of chopped nuts. The result was a luscious, spreadable mixture that was both simple to make and surprisingly versatile, capable of turning a plain snack into something festive and flavorful. Part of the appeal of this spread lay in its balance of flavors. The richness and smoothness of the cream cheese paired perfectly with the bright, tropical sweetness of pineapple, while optional nuts added a delicate crunch. Some variations included shredded coconut for added texture or a dash of maraschino cherry juice for extra color and sweetness. The spread could be molded into decorative shapes, topped with fruit or nuts, and served as a centerpiece at parties, or simply scooped onto crackers for a quick and satisfying bite. This dish exemplified the 1970s culinary ethos of convenience and creativity. With just a few pantry staples, cream cheese, canned pineapple, and optional add-ins, home cooks could produce a dish that felt indulgent, festive, and impressive without requiring hours of preparation. Its versatility also meant it could transition seamlessly from appetizer to side dish, enhancing both casual meals and more formal gatherings. Though it may seem retro by today's standards, cream cheese and pineapple spread remains a nostalgic favorite, evoking memories of kitchens filled with laughter, shared snacks, and simple, flavorful creativity. Each bite offers a sweet, tangy, and creamy taste of the past, reminding us of the playful and inventive spirit that defined 1970s home cooking. This spread wasn't just a side, it was a celebration of flavor, ease, and the charm of mid-century entertaining. Stuffed celery sticks. Stuffed celery sticks were a classic 1970s side dish, combining crisp, fresh celery with creamy, flavorful fillings to create a simple yet satisfying snack or appetizer. At their core, these sticks featured crunchy celery ribs filled with mixtures such as cream cheese, pimento cheese, or a seasoned cheese spread. Some versions incorporated chopped nuts, olives, or finely diced vegetables for added texture and flavor, while others were topped with a sprinkle of paprika or chives to make them visually appealing. The result was a dish that was light, refreshing, and easy to prepare, yet elegant enough for holiday tables, potlucks, and cocktail parties. The appeal of stuffed celery sticks lay in their contrast of textures and flavors. The crisp, watery crunch of the celery perfectly complemented the smooth, rich filling, while seasoning and optional garnishes added subtle complexity. Some home cooks even experimented with sweeter variations, blending cream cheese with pineapple or raisins for a playful twist. The sticks were naturally bite-sized, making them ideal for serving large groups, and their colorful presentation often made them one of the first dishes to disappear from the appetizer tray. This dish reflected the 1970s emphasis on convenience, creativity, and visual appeal in home cooking. With a few readily available ingredients, celery, cream cheese, and pantry staples, home cooks could quickly assemble a dish that felt special, festive, and flavorful. It was practical for weeknight snacks, yet sophisticated enough to serve to guests, highlighting the era's knack for turning simple foods into memorable dishes. Though they may seem quaint today, stuffed celery sticks remain a nostalgic favorite, evoking memories of cheerful kitchens, family gatherings, and shared meals. Each crisp, creamy bite carries the charm of mid-century home cooking where creativity and practicality came together in delicious harmony. These sticks weren't just a side, they were a testament to the simple ingenuity and playful elegance that defined 1970s culinary traditions. Corn pudding. Corn pudding was a beloved 1970s side dish offering a sweet, custardy complement to savory mains like roasted meats, fried chicken, or ham. It transformed simple corn, fresh, canned, or creamed, into a rich, comforting casserole that could be served at family dinners, holiday feasts, or potlucks. The dish typically combined corn with eggs, milk, butter, and a touch of sugar, sometimes thickened with flour or cornstarch. then baked until set with a lightly golden tender top. The result was a creamy, slightly sweet pudding dotted with tender corn kernels that delighted both children and adults alike. Part of corn pudding's charm was its versatility. Some recipes incorporated a hint of cheese for extra richness, while others added diced peppers or onions for a subtle savory note. The custard-like base provided a smooth texture that contrasted with the slight bite of the corn, making each spoonful comforting yet interesting. Its lightly sweet flavor offered a counterpoint to more savory dishes on the table, while the golden baked top added visual appeal, making it a favorite for holiday spreads. Corn pudding reflected the 1970s approach to home cooking: practical, flavorful, and satisfying. It could be prepared ahead of time and baked just before serving, making it ideal for busy hosts, while its simple ingredients ensured it was accessible to any household. Families appreciated it for its ease of preparation, its comforting flavors, and the way it could stretch to feed a crowd, embodying the era's balance of convenience and indulgence. Though it may seem retro today, corn pudding remains a nostalgic reminder of mid-century American kitchens. Its creamy texture, sweet corn flavor, and golden finish evoke the warmth of family gatherings, home-cooked meals, and holiday celebrations. This side dish wasn't just about sustenance, it was a comforting, memorable addition to the table, embodying the heart and ingenuity of 1970s home cooking. Creamy cucumber salad. Creamy cucumber salad was a refreshing and iconic side dish of the 1970s, beloved for its cool, crisp texture and tangy, creamy dressing. This simple yet satisfying salad featured thinly sliced cucumbers tossed with a mixture of mayonnaise, sour cream, or a combination of both, often flavored with a touch of vinegar, sugar, salt, and pepper. Some recipes added finely chopped onions, dill, or fresh herbs to enhance the flavor and aroma, creating a dish that was both visually appealing and perfectly balanced in taste. Part of the charm of creamy cucumber salad was its light, crisp freshness. The cucumbers offered a delicate crunch that contrasted beautifully with the smooth, tangy dressing, while the subtle seasoning enhanced, rather than overpowered, the natural flavor of the vegetable. It was a cooling counterpoint to heavier main dishes like fried chicken, roasts, or casseroles, making it a staple at family dinners, summer picnics, and potlucks alike. The salad's pale green and creamy hue also gave it a nostalgic, classic look that made it instantly recognizable on 1970s tables. This dish reflected the era's love for convenience and simplicity. With a few fresh ingredients and minimal preparation, home cooks could create a side that felt both indulgent and healthful. Its creamy texture and tangy flavor appealed to children and adults alike, and it could be made ahead of time and chilled, allowing the flavors to meld beautifully. Some households even added a sprinkle of sugar to balance the tartness, or a touch of fresh dill for an extra aromatic layer. Though it may feel retro today, creamy cucumber salad remains a timeless reminder of mid-century American kitchens, where fresh, simple vegetables were elevated with creamy, flavorful dressings. Each bite evokes memories of warm summer afternoons, family gatherings, and the satisfying harmony of crisp, cool cucumbers paired with a luscious, tangy coating. This salad wasn't just a side. It was a testament to the comforting, approachable, and enduring appeal of 1970s home cooking. Jell-O vegetable salad. Jell-O vegetable salad was one of the most distinctive and memorable side dishes of the 1970s, reflecting the era's fascination with molded gelatin and colorful, creative presentations. This salad typically combined a savory or slightly sweet-flavored gelatin, often lemon or lime, with an assortment of vegetables such as chopped celery, carrots, green peppers, and sometimes peas. Occasionally, diced onions or pimentos were added for extra flavor and visual contrast. The mixture was poured into a mold or dish and chilled until firm, creating a wobbly, eye-catching centerpiece that wowed guests at potlucks, holiday dinners, and cocktail parties alike. Part of its appeal was the unique balance of textures and flavors. The firm, slightly jiggly gelatin contrasted with the crisp vegetables, creating a playful mouthfeel that was both refreshing and satisfying. Some cooks added creamy elements, such as mayonnaise or sour cream, to soften the gelatin and create a smoother texture, while others garnished with fresh herbs or slices of tomato for extra color and flair. The result was a dish that was visually stunning, tangy, and fun. A true conversation starter on any table. Jell-O vegetable salad also reflected the 1970s emphasis on convenience and creativity in home cooking. With canned vegetables and instant gelatin mixes readily available, home cooks could quickly assemble a dish that looked elaborate and impressive while requiring minimal effort. Refrigeration allowed the salad to set perfectly, making it easy to prepare ahead of time for gatherings. Though it may seem unusual or kitschy by today's standards, Jell-O vegetable salad remains a nostalgic emblem of 1970s American kitchens. It represents a time when experimentation with textures, flavors, and colorful presentations was celebrated, and when side dishes could be both practical and playful. Each slice evokes memories of family gatherings, cheerful kitchens, and the whimsical ingenuity that defined mid-century home cooking. This salad wasn't just a side. It was a bold, creative, and unforgettable expression of 1970s culinary style. Potato and leek casserole. Potato and leek casserole was a comforting and elegant side dish that found its place on many 1970s dinner tables, combining the humble potato with the mild, oniony flavor of leeks for a rich, flavorful experience. The dish typically featured thinly sliced potatoes layered with sautéed leeks, cream or milk, and butter, often seasoned with salt, pepper, and sometimes a touch of nutmeg. Cheese, most commonly sharp cheddar, Gruyere, or Swiss, was frequently added to the layers or sprinkled on top, melting into a golden, bubbling finish during baking. The result was a creamy, tender, and savory casserole that paired beautifully with roasted meats, poultry, or holiday feasts. Part of the casserole's charm was its balance of textures and flavors. The soft, buttery potatoes absorbed the mild, sweet aroma of the leeks, while the cheese added richness and a slightly crisp topping. Some cooks incorporated breadcrumbs or crushed crackers on top for additional crunch, creating a satisfying contrast to the creamy interior. The dish could be prepared ahead of time and baked just before serving, making it practical for busy hosts while still offering an elegant, restaurant-worthy presentation. Potato and leek casserole reflected the 1970s culinary emphasis on comfort, convenience, and layered flavors. It made use of simple, accessible ingredients to produce a dish that felt both indulgent and homey, demonstrating how basic pantry staples could be transformed into something special. Families appreciated it for its hearty yet refined qualities, as well as its ability to feed a crowd without fuss. Though it may seem retro today, potato and leek casserole remains a nostalgic favorite. evoking memories of kitchens filled with the aroma of baking potatoes and melting cheese. Each creamy, flavorful bite offers a taste of mid-century American home cooking, where practicality met comfort and simple ingredients became memorable dishes. This casserole wasn't just a side, it was a celebration of flavor, texture, and the warmth of family meals. Bacon-wrapped green beans. Bacon-wrapped green beans were a show-stopping side dish of the 1970s, combining the crisp freshness of green beans with the smoky, savory richness of bacon. This simple yet indulgent dish typically involved blanching tender green beans until just crisp, then wrapping small bundles in thin strips of bacon and baking or broiling them until the bacon was perfectly golden and slightly caramelized. The result was a side dish that was both visually appealing and irresistibly flavorful, offering a satisfying contrast between the crisp beans and the salty, crispy bacon. Part of the charm of bacon-wrapped green beans was its balance of textures and tastes. The bright, tender green beans provided a refreshing bite, while the bacon added smokiness, fat, and a crunchy exterior that made each bundle a miniature treat. Some home cooks enhance the dish with a light glaze of brown sugar, honey, or soy sauce, introducing a sweet, savory element that elevated it to a centerpiece-worthy side. These bundles were perfect for holiday tables, potlucks, or casual dinners, often disappearing quickly thanks to their irresistible combination of flavors. The dish also reflected the 1970s love for simplicity and convenience with a touch of indulgence. It required only a few ingredients: green beans, bacon, and optional seasoning, yet produced a dish that looked elegant and tasted decadent. Its preparation was straightforward, and it could be assembled ahead of time and baked just before serving, making it practical for busy hosts while still offering flair and flavor. Though it may seem retro today, bacon-wrapped green beans remain a nostalgic favorite, evoking memories of festive kitchens and family gatherings. Each bite delivers the smoky, savory satisfaction of bacon alongside the crisp, tender freshness of vegetables, embodying the playful and inventive spirit of 1970s home cooking. This dish wasn't just a side, it was a perfect example of how simple ingredients could be transformed into something unforgettable. Spinach gelatin salad. Spinach gelatin salad was one of the most visually striking and uniquely 1970s side dishes, combining the era's love of molded gelatin with fresh, crisp greens. The dish typically featured chopped fresh spinach, suspended in a savory or slightly tangy gelatin base, often flavored with lemon or a light vegetable stock, and sometimes mixed with finely diced onions, celery, or bell peppers for added crunch and color. Some versions included hard-boiled eggs, shredded cheese, or even small bits of cooked bacon, giving the salad richness and depth while maintaining its playful, jiggly presentation. Part of its charm was the surprising combination of textures and flavors. The firm gelatin provided structure and a slightly wobbly texture, contrasting with the crisp vegetables and tender spinach. A light seasoning of salt, pepper, or a touch of vinegar balanced the flavors, making it refreshing yet satisfying. The mold itself created a centerpiece-worthy dish, often sliced to reveal a mosaic of green leaves, colorful vegetables, and creamy inclusions, bringing both whimsy and elegance to tables at holiday gatherings, potlucks, and family dinners. Spinach gelatin salad also reflected the 1970s culinary emphasis on convenience and creativity. Pre-packaged gelatin mixes and readily available fresh or canned vegetables made it easy to prepare, while the final molded presentation appeared elaborate and impressive. It could be made ahead of time, allowing flavors to meld as the gelatin set and requiring minimal last-minute preparation. Though it may seem unusual by modern standards, spinach gelatin salad remains a nostalgic emblem of mid-century American kitchens. Its unique combination of crisp greens, colorful vegetables, and gelatin's playful texture evokes memories of festive meals, imaginative home cooking, and the era's penchant for turning simple ingredients into visually stunning, conversation-starting dishes. This salad wasn't just a side. It was a testament to the whimsical, inventive spirit of 1970s home cooking. Italian-style antipasto salad. Italian-style antipasto salad was a vibrant and flavorful side dish that brought a touch of Mediterranean flair to 1970s American tables. Rooted in the traditional Italian antipasto, this salad combined an array of cured meats, such as salami, ham, or pepperoni, with provolone or mozzarella cheese, marinated vegetables like artichoke hearts, roasted red peppers and olives, and often a crisp bed of iceberg or romaine lettuce. A simple vinaigrette of olive oil, vinegar, and Italian herbs tied the ingredients together, creating a harmonious balance of savory, tangy, and slightly briny flavors. Part of its appeal lay in the contrast of textures and tastes. The tender, salty meats and creamy cheese paired perfectly with the crisp lettuce and slightly chewy marinated vegetables. Olives and pickled components added briny notes, while a sprinkling of Italian seasoning or a few grinds of black pepper enhanced the depth of flavor. The result was a colorful, eye-catching salad that was as pleasing to the eye as it was to the palate, making it a standout at family dinners, potlucks, or holiday spreads. Italian-style antipasto salad reflected the 1970s trend of embracing global flavors while keeping preparation simple. Most ingredients were readily available in grocery stores, and the salad could be assembled quickly, chilled, and served without fuss. Its flexibility allowed home cooks to adjust quantities, swap meats or cheeses, and include seasonal vegetables, creating a dish that was both versatile and crowd-pleasing. Though it may feel nostalgic today, Italian-style antipasto salad remains a timeless favorite. Its combination of fresh, cured, and marinated ingredients offers a lively contrast to heavier dishes, evoking memories of casual family meals and festive gatherings. This salad wasn't just a side. It was a celebration of flavor, color, and the approachable sophistication that defined 1970s home cooking. If you loved this trip down memory lane with 30 forgotten 1970s side dishes, don't let these nostalgic recipes fade away. Hit like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more tasty blasts from the past. You won't want to miss what's coming next.